Hi, welcome to Rose at Home, but I am quite obviously not at home. I am back in my classroom. You are on a book cart, and I'm hoping you don't fall down. Behind me is one of my bookcases and the art supplies. My creative writing kids are working on making their own children's book with illustrations, and so we kept all the art supplies up there. So that's what's happening in my life, other than I'm hanging out here after school while I am waiting to meet with my real estate agent because we are going to be touring not one, but two houses, less than an hour. I'm super, super excited. They are in the location that I want. They are both in the subdivision that I want. They both came on the market on the same day. I don't know if they realized that that was going to happen. I'm hoping somehow that that can be used to my advantage, that there's two with, I'm thinking, probably identical floor plans, about two streets apart from each other. So I'm excited, also really nervous. This is getting more and more real by the minute, and yikes. But I'm going to bring you with me. I'm hoping that it's all wonderful and good and great, and I don't even know what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that this is a positive experience, and I'm hoping to fall in love with something that I can actually afford, and I'm starting to think I might just be in a new house for New Year's. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. So, see you in a few. Bye.
Hi. So we're here in the car, making our dandy doodly diddliest way out to the house.
See a house. This is the house that I saw Friday,
She
end
was
of
there
last week.
Yes.
And I do not want to move forward until Liam gets to see it.
I get to touch things.
He gets to touch things.
Which is like my whole thing. For those who don't know, #TouchThingsGang. Whenever you enter a house, make sure you touch everything. It's like how geese mark their territory, but with like humans and touching things.
Yeah, except totally different. But so she had asked me, like, so this was weird. She had asked, so is your son a decision maker? Should we not go to any more open houses without your son? And I was like, no, but he is important, and this isn't something that's happening to him. He is part of this, and I want him to have a chance to see it before I put in an offer. This is what I learned, something really odd this week in trying to get this second showing. It didn't dawn on me that everybody didn't see a house multiple times before putting in an offer on it. I can understand seeing a house you don't want once and saying, okay, no, I don't want that one. But I was talking to someone at work today, and I was like, I'm going to buy something that costs $250,000, and I'm only going to have seen it once for like 15 minutes. I don't get it. I didn't know that was a thing. I, honest to God, didn't know that was a thing. And so yeah, apparently this is weird. Now since then I've had this conversation, and I've had people say that they bought houses more expensive than this sight unseen, which is even crazier to me. And well, they saw pictures but haven't seen the actual house. But I was talking about it with my creative writing students, and one of them said that no, that her and her family, they had a top 3 houses, and that they saw all of them. They saw all of them twice, and the one they picked, they saw 3 times before they made the decision. I was like, okay, I feel less weird now. So apparently I'm not the only one, but there was too much in my head. There was also a bit of a rush because we were trying to see a second house, and she had another meeting across town, so she had to be, on the road. And so it was a lot for a short period of time. And I'll say, for the tour that we did and the walkthrough that we did, when Liam and I have been to open houses, we've spent more time than that in those houses. I've never walked through that quickly on any house, and we weren't even interested in those.
You want to have a second bout, like a good one, you know?
I want to have a good long look and a good long think and all of that. It is where I want to be. I have already toured a house with almost an identical floor plan. So has Liam.
Hi.
We spent 30 minutes in that house, though. I don't think it's weird to go back a second time. I feel bad because apparently this is, kind of out of the norm of an ask, but if this isn't our house, I'm gonna need to explain to our real estate agent, I'm not a see it one time person and buy it. Anything that I'm gonna consider making an offer on, I'm gonna need to see more than once. And I know that it's not like I'm signing on the dotted line tomorrow. There are inspections and all of these other things once we get a contract. But signing a contract means that I'm ready to go, to me, in my head. And maybe I'm thinking about it the wrong way. But to me, when I sign the contract, it's because I have made my choice. Now, things can fall apart because of things that we learn. But I don't want to just enter a contract willy-nilly and, well, maybe this is the one, let's just get under contract. No, I need to be solid. And that's where I am. And I'm hoping Liam likes it.
Wow. What a house.
Yes. What a house. So
I touch things.
at this point, I've seen it twice. This was his first walkthrough for this house. So I'm going to let him give you his impressions.
So the first thing you see when you walk in is like a little electrical outlet that's slightly tilted, and it really bothered me because it's the first thing I saw. And she walked in and opened up like the first closet, and I was like, that's interesting, that's a neat little first closet. And I was like, why'd she open it? And I walked over and it kept getting stuck, and I was like, oh, it's a weirdly built closet. But then I was like, this is a pretty nice house. It's really cute. There's ladybugs on things because it's a very urban but very naturist area. There's like a park, there's like a little lake nearby. It's very cute. There was bumblebees in the backyard. Also in the yard there was this massive gray pile, which I can only presume is some sort of eldritch entity which we should not be touching, and or it's just a tree that they got rid of, and you can see where it kind of lived and died. There's also a dead tree out front, which is kind of cute because it's actually really tiny, but it's really easy to get rid of. Also some hedges that we could take an axe to if the HOA approves of us. However, the actual house itself is actually really cute and quaint. It's fairly small. There's this big red door which is like a little clown nose because it's really goofy looking. And you make your way inside. The clown nose door also has no way of viewing the outside world, so you just have to go on instinct here. And you go inside and you see the very, very spacious opening, and there's funny geometry because there's a section where it's not a perfect square. It cuts off at a little corner bit, which is neat. Really nice kitchen. It's small, but it's kind of perfect. It's a massive pantry, fairly compact, and there's really nice colored cabinets. A really cute walnut color with little gray background, and she hates it. But I think it's because it's glossy, and I think she hates glossy colors.
Painting those cabinets or replacing the top cabinets are high on the list of redos if we end up in this house.
She hates the cabinets. I think they're okay. But that's kind of her thing, and well, I'll just take the cabinets and put them in my room. That's the plan, at least. That she doesn't know that yet.
Yeah, if they come down.
Going throughout, they had a carpeted bedroom. I like carpet, but I was told we're gutting most of the carpet. But I get to keep my carpet, so I'm okay with that because I get to live my good life. The neighborhood seems really cute. The garage is really sweet. You get a lot in there, and it came with a free step ladder and a lot of free wood just randomly lying around. So I can never complain about free wood, How that goes. Walk into Lowe's and they give you free wood and it's like, oh, cool, I guess I'm at Lowe's. But you walk into your new home and you're just like, oh, wow, free 2x4, cool. There's the funny little sliding doors which have no lock to it. And so apparently the people...
No, it does. But it's very, very, like all sliding glass doors, it's very, very flimsy.
Yeah. So they took a 2x4 and went, I know what to do, and they shoved the 2x4 into the sliding doors so that they won't move.
Yeah, the agent called it the redneck security system for the sliding glass doors, which is exactly what it is, and it looks like that as well. That is another thing that if I end up in this house, I want to put French doors to that patio out there.
It also needs a new swat of paint. There's definitely it's painted this strange baby blue that's been faded by 50 years of weathering.
No, 30.
30 years of weathering. So it definitely needs a repaint, maybe a nice aesthetically a nice trim color. You know how it is. There's some sections that definitely need some repair, but beyond that, it's a really pretty house. It's got a nice interior, good flow to it. The roof is really nice. At least that's been done fairly well. The kitchen's quaint. The bathrooms are there's one. My bathroom at least has a cool flushing toilet. Hers sucks. But that's just because I guess my toilet broke first, I suppose, and hers, she didn't get that lucky to have a broken toilet that they needed to replace. The bath thing, like the bath, like the shower and the faucets and all that are very old, but those can easily be gutted and replaced fairly simply from what I know. I don't know, I'm not an engineer, I'm not Da Vinci, I don't know nothing about nobody. But it's good. It's a really cute house. I like the layout of the woods. I like it has a little bar over there, which is like, oh, that's really sweet. You can just put your arms there. Again, it just flows. I think the best thing about it's the flow of it. You can really work through it. It's cute, it's quaint, it's cottagecore. You can go throughout it, and there's a neighborhood which seems really sweet. Some interesting individuals which I saw driving by. The road itself is very old. Like, you can look, it's like very like sun bleached, and like there's definitely a lot of cracks and probably some potholes to further down some roads. We didn't have any. And it's of note that also we're like the weakest of the cul-de-sac. Like, we're at the very tip of it, like the very edge, and it's uphill, so we're at the very bottom of the hill, and we get to look up at the guy at the end of the cul-de-sac, who I think we have to pay tribute to every month. So we gotta get in good hands.
Oh, it's the outside of the house looks like our house, just like on steroids. It's
like a king.
Much bigger, but it's still kind of the same architectural features, the same kind of look to it. You can tell it was built by the same people. It's just a much bigger house.
You can tell it's the last one they built because all the mistakes in every other house on the road is not made on that house. And it's like, okay, cool. But also if there was like a water balloon fight, they could just roll them down and they hit our house and we'd lose.
So the question is, like, you approve? You'd be good with living there?
Yes, of course I'd love to live there. It's a beautiful house. It's a good exterior, good interior. Again, I think the only like real drawback is well, to some people would be a drawback is there does need to be a good bit of work put into this, but again, our goal is to put a lot of work into it, and that's really exciting.
And that'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I love
think
work.
It'll be fun.
I love putting my hands to work, tilling the soil, as they say. What? I'm not a farmer. Don't question that.
No, well,
we could start farming theoretically.
There's really not enough room for that.
That's what they think. Look, I think the only other issue would be its location, really, and even then, it's not actually really. It's still in town. It's actually very close to a lot of things. But like coming from living in the middle of town to living a little bit away from the middle of town is like, well, I guess I lose my ability to walk everywhere.
Yeah. I love the location. It's perfect for me. It is literally 5-minute drive from work. The issue is it is now very far away from from everywhere he needs to be.
It's on the other, literally on the other side of town from my college. I don't think we could go any theoretically farther than where we
Well, you could. If we ended up out
true.
like where that one house was.
Yeah.
That was that would have been farther, but it is far for him. And so he currently does not have a vehicle, so he does public transport. And public transportation for him is going to be a trek every single day.
It was convenient here because I'm getting a job like literally right down the road from here. I could walk 20-30ish minutes.
Yeah, his first day is tomorrow.
Completely fine. I could walk there completely fine, take the bus there in 5 minutes if the bus shows up. Be there in 5 minutes and it's completely fine.
It was picked because there was public bus access, but it wasn't picked to make it easy for him to go to school.
We still wanted there to be a challenge there.
It was picked to be easy for me to go to work because, like he has said before, this isn't his forever home. I will be in this house far longer than 3 years.
Yes.
He will not. So it was picked with me in mind, but...
And again, once I get a ride, it's okay.
Once he has a vehicle or...
It's a
moped or just something that could get him across town and back.
Yeah, non-issue at all.
Then it's not a problem. It's just the first few months at least are going to be
a bit goofy.
Okay, so
hi. What a house.
So we wanted to share with you that I've seen this house twice now.
I've
You've seen it once,
and I touched things.
It is Cottage Crush 3.0.
We killed the other two.
It is the third one. The first two have sold to other people.
We don't talk about them.
Who's gonna buy this one? Well, we'll see what happens. We'll let you
Maybe
know
us.
next week.
Maybe us. Maybe, that
Maybe
squirrel.
us, maybe someone else, maybe a squirrel.
They're still out there.
Maybe there's more news, and maybe we'll give that to you next week. So make sure that you subscribe so that you can find out what happens next. And if you are like, how'd these people get to this point where they're looking at what might be their house? Watch this playlist that is over poor Liam's face. He hates this.
Can
And
we put it on? Can we move it to your face?
we could put it in the middle. Watch this
Oh.
playlist we are
Oh.
now putting in the middle, and it will show you everything we've been through to get to this point, and there might be big news next week. I don't know. Who knows? I don't. Or actually, I do. You will too. Watch next week. Subscribe so that you can see it next week. Watch all these videos so that will show up on your suggested, so that as soon as it comes up, you can find out what's happening. And we will see you then.
Stay stupid, Slope Gang.